Hi friends, how are you today? I've got my green on because to me, St. Patrick's Day is awesome, and instead of one day, it deserves a couple weeks. I mean, it's pretty much what the month of March is about. So keep calm and wear green. This Wednesday, St. Patrick's Day, one of Miss Kelly's favorite holidays. How have you been? Awesome, awesome. We have been talking about Jesus, and we talked about him being a teacher and a healer. And did you know Jesus did amazing miracles too? Yeah, he did things that no one else could do. And people had a hard time understanding him, even his best friends. Yeah, they didn't quite get how Jesus could do these things. We're going to talk about that for a couple weeks. Coming up very soon, we have Easter. Now, a lot of us think of Easter and we think of an Easter bunny. But really, Easter's about Jesus. Easter was when Jesus died. And when Jesus died, he chose to do it for you and for me. So that's coming up very quickly. So we need to spend a couple weeks, and I want to tell you about some of the amazing miracles that Jesus was doing. The one we're going to do today is called Jesus Works Miracles, the Storm. And I'm using our Jesus Calling storybook because I like the wording of this, but I've got my picture storybook over here, so when we review, we'll show that too. It's, let me show you the picture. There's Jesus out on a boat with his disciples. And I'll read to you now. All day long, Jesus taught big crowds of people about God. Jesus was tired. So when the evening came, he said to the disciples, his followers, his friends, "Let's go in our boat to the other side of the lake." While they were sailing, Jesus fell asleep. He was tired, right? All those people following around, asking him questions, wanting his help. Some of his disciples were fishermen. They knew everything about sailing and steering a boat. Surely they didn't need Jesus' help. But then a huge thunderstorm came up. Have you ever been in the middle of a storm? Maybe when you weren't inside or when you were in your car? Well, they didn't have cars back then, but they were in a boat and a giant storm came up. Thunder, boom, lightning, flash. A big wind came whistling and howling and racing across the water right at them. By this time, they were in the middle of the lake, and there was nothing they could do. I bet they felt pretty helpless, kind of scared, anxious, worried. The small boat rocked from side to side, and as it rocked, water poured in the boat. "We're going to sink!" cried one of the men. Even the fishermen, who knew all about sailing, were terrified. "Wake up, Jesus!" they shouted. "Save us!" Jesus stood up, and he said to the wind, "Stop." And it stopped. "Why were you so afraid?" he asked his disciples. "Don't you have any faith?" "Who is this?" the disciples whispered to each other. "Even the wind obeys him." Jesus is God's Son, and he is greater than the wind, the waves, and our biggest fears. The disciples got scared, boys and girls. Sometimes we get scared from a storm, or when we can't find our mom or dad, or when we think we've lost something, or when we think we're in trouble. And they were scared. And Jesus just wanted them to know, you don't need to be afraid. He even stopped the wind. Here, let's look at this one. Let me get there's Jesus sitting on the side. And they get into the boat, and Jesus falls asleep. He's not worried. See, right now the sun's out, so everything seems fine. But then the big storm came up, and they screamed for help, and Jesus sits up. There. Oops. Calming the storm. And the sun starts shining again. And he reminds us not to be afraid, that even the wind obeys him. We need to remember that too when we get scared, no matter what we're scared of, that God tells us not to be afraid and to have faith in him. We just need to talk to him about it. Well, that's our story for today. I've had a couple prayer requests for a sick grandma and for sunshine. And so we are going to pray for those two things in our prayers today. Will you pray with me? Dear God, thank you for today. Thank you for my family who loves me very much. Please be with sick grandmas and grandpas. Thank you for my school, for my teachers, and for my friends. Thank you for the sunshine. Please send more of it. Be with me when I am afraid. And we all say together, Amen. I hope you have a great week. I'll see you next week. Be good, be kind.